There's a saying that if you want to know the truth about a marriage, do not look at the grand gestures, the flowers, the vacations, the anniversary dinners. Instead, look at the bathroom. It sounds unusual, even silly at first. Why the bathroom? Why not the bedroom or the dinner table? Yet time and again, relationship counselors, psychologists, and ordinary couples have discovered that the bathroom acts as a kind of quiet, ruthless mirror. The habits revealed in that small space, habits of cleanliness, respect, attention, and care, often tell us more about the strength of a relationship than anything else. This is not about porcelain or plumbing. It is not about whether someone prefers lavender soap or mint toothpaste. It is about whether two people living under one roof understand that their actions ripple into another person's daily experience. And nowhere are those ripples felt more immediately than in the bathroom, a place where everyone expects privacy, safety, and comfort. The bathroom test has become a shorthand phrase in some corners of the internet, popularized by a viral story about a Wisconsin woman and her husband. But its resonance goes beyond one couple's frustration. It points to a deeper truth. Marriages do not collapse overnight because of one dramatic event. More often, they erode quietly, one ignored request, one careless act, one dismissed feeling at a time. The story began in Wisconsin when a woman posted her frustration online. She was not writing about infidelity, not about financial ruin, not about abuse. She was writing about a toilet seat. Her husband never lifted it. Again and again, she reminded him. Again and again, he promised he would change. Sometimes he would remember for a week, maybe two. Then the old habit returned. At first, she told herself it was minor. After all, wasn't marriage supposed to be about compromise? Wasn't it normal to forgive little mistakes? She laughed it off during the first year of marriage, though each time she had to clean the mess left behind, irritation crept a little deeper. She mentioned it casually at family gatherings, turning it into a lighthearted anecdote. Everyone chuckled. Her husband rolled his eyes. But over time, the laughter faded. What once felt like a minor inconvenience started to feel like disrespect. She would wake up early, shuffle half asleep into the bathroom, and discover again that he had not bothered. She would clean quietly, swallowing her annoyance, because she did not want to start another argument. Then came the breaking point. One night, exhausted from work, she walked into the bathroom without switching on the light. She sat down without noticing and immediately realized what had happened. The shock, the mess, the humiliation in her own home broke something inside her. She shouted his name, furious, and confronted him. His response was not what she hoped. He did not apologize sincerely. He did not promise to try harder. Instead, he dismissed her feelings. "You're overreacting," he said. "It's not a big deal." Stop being dramatic. That single moment revealed something bigger than a toilet seat. It revealed his willingness or unwillingness to take her discomfort seriously. It revealed his casual dismissal of her repeated attempts to communicate. It revealed the pattern of negligence that had been silently undermining their bond. That single moment revealed something bigger than a toilet seat. It revealed his willingness or unwillingness to take her discomfort seriously. It revealed his casual dismissal of her repeated attempts to communicate. It revealed the pattern of negligence that had been silently undermining their bond. Many people hearing this story might still shrug. It is, after all, just a toilet seat. Yet psychologists who study long-term relationships have consistently found that small daily interactions often predict long-term success or failure more than grand rare gestures. Dr. John Gottman, a renowned relationship researcher, describes this in terms of bids for connection. Every time a partner expresses a need, whether it is as simple as, "Please remember to lift the seat," or as deep as, "I feel lonely," the other partner has a choice. They can respond positively, negatively, or ignore it. Over years, those choices accumulate. The Wisconsin woman's request was not really about a seat. It was about whether her husband cared enough to inconvenience himself slightly for her comfort. His repeated failure sent a subtle but powerful message. Her needs were optional, her words disposable. The bathroom became the stage where respect was either demonstrated or denied. It is worth noting that not every couple fights about the same things. For some, the test might be toothpaste caps left open, damp towels on the floor, or hair clogging the drain. For others, it might be dishes in the sink or socks on the floor. The specific habit does not matter. What matters is the principle underneath. Is one partner consistently ignoring the expressed needs of the other? Relationship therapists often talk about micro-betrayals. These are not betrayals in the dramatic sense, affairs, lies, or abandonment. They are the smaller, everyday choices that slowly communicate indifference. Forgetting an important detail your spouse shared, scrolling on your phone instead of listening, repeatedly dismissing small requests. These are the invisible cracks. The bathroom test is essentially a study in micro-betrayals. Each time the husband ignored the request, it told his wife, "Your comfort is not worth my effort." Each time he dismissed her reaction, it told her, "Your feelings are exaggerated, and I don't need to take them seriously." Over time, these micro-betrayals pile up. A partner might not even consciously realize the resentment building within them, but the effect is cumulative, like drops of water eroding stone. One day, a seemingly small incident, like sitting down on an unlifted toilet seat, becomes the final straw, not because of that moment alone, but because of everything that led up to it. The bathroom, then, becomes more than a physical space. It becomes a symbol of how respect is negotiated in a marriage. Think of the intimacy of this room. It is the place where you are most vulnerable, where you expect privacy, where you engage in the most basic human routines. To enter that space and encounter signs of neglect, smears on the mirror, puddles on the floor, the smell of disregard, can feel like a violation. When the source of that disregard is a partner, the hurt cuts deeper. Respect in marriage is not only shown in public or in moments of crisis. It is shown in these quiet, daily spaces. A partner who takes the time to rinse the sink after shaving, who wipes down the counter, who ensures the toilet is left clean. These actions whisper, "I see you. I care about your comfort. I value your presence here." The husband's dismissal in the Wisconsin story is crucial. It shows another layer of the bathroom test, not just whether mistakes are made, but how they are handled. Every couple will have conflicts. Every household will have messes. But what defines the quality of a relationship is not perfection, but repair. When one partner expresses frustration, does the other dismiss it or engage with it? Dismissal has a psychological effect. When someone repeatedly tells you that your feelings are dramatic or not a big deal, it chips away at your sense of reality. You begin to question whether your needs are valid. This is a form of gaslighting, even if unintentional. Over time, it silences communication because the dismissed partner decides it is safer not to speak up. The bathroom test, then, is not just about cleanliness. It is about communication. It asks, when your partner brings you a concern, do you listen? Do you adjust? Do you show that their comfort matters to you? It is tempting to separate small habits from big relationship issues, as if they exist in different categories. But in reality, the small habits are the foundation on which bigger issues rest. Consider trust. People often think that trust is about fidelity. But trust is also about believing that your partner will follow through on small promises. If they cannot remember to lift a toilet seat after months of reminders, can they be trusted to remember more significant commitments? Consider intimacy. Many assume intimacy is built through romance or physical connection. But intimacy is also built through daily attentiveness. When one partner ignores the other's repeated discomfort, intimacy quietly drains away. Consider longevity. Marriages that last decades often do so not because they avoid conflict, but because both partners show willingness to adjust, to respect, to value each other in the smallest routines. The bathroom test is simply one vivid way of illustrating this truth. How you treat your partner in the ordinary moments reveals how you will treat them in extraordinary ones. At its core, the bathroom test is less about bathrooms and more about metaphors. The bathroom represents the ordinary, the unglamorous, the unnoticed. It is not a place where couples perform love for outsiders. It is a place where love is either lived sincerely or forgotten casually. Think of the difference between a husband who walks into the bathroom, notices that the sink is dirty and thinks, "I'll clean it later, she can deal with it," versus one who thinks, "She shouldn't have to see this, I'll clean it now." The first mindset assumes partnership is about convenience. The second assumes partnership is about care. In this way, the bathroom test forces couples to ask, do we take each other for granted in the small hidden corners of life? Or do we actively choose respect, even when no one else is watching? The Wisconsin story is just one case, but it resonates because so many couples have lived their own version of the bathroom test. Whether it is toothpaste, towels, or toilet seats, the deeper question is the same. Do you notice? Do you care? Do you respond with respect? Or do you dismiss? Bathrooms are private sanctuaries. Unlike kitchens, which are communal, or bedrooms, which hold a blend of intimacy and sleep, the bathroom represents raw vulnerability. We prepare ourselves for the world there, wash away the residue of our days, and face our unfiltered selves in the mirror. When a spouse enters this vulnerable space, they step into the rawest version of us, not the curated self, but the authentic one. That's why small slights in the bathroom carry outsized meaning. A toothpaste cap left unscrewed isn't just laziness. It might suggest thoughtlessness. A towel never hung up properly may whisper of disregard. Each little act is magnified because the space is intimate. When these moments add up, the bathroom becomes a canvas painted with patterns of respect or neglect. A couple once shared their story in an advice column. The wife was meticulous about the bathroom, folded towels, counters wiped, and a firm rule about keeping personal items organized. Her husband, however, had a casual, messy approach. He would leave hair in the sink, shave without cleaning up, and toss damp towels on the floor. At first, she teased him about it. Over time, her jokes turned into complaints. What was striking wasn't the mess itself. It was his reaction. Instead of meeting her halfway, he dismissed her as too controlling. In her eyes, this meant he wasn't just ignoring the mess, he was ignoring her feelings. Years later, when their marriage ended, she said it wasn't about the towels. It was about never feeling heard. Psychologists call this the buildup effect. Small repeated slights form an emotional ledger. Each ignored request adds a mark, and when the marks outnumber the moments of care, resentment outweighs affection. The bathroom, in this sense, forecasts the relationship's trajectory. Society often celebrates grand romantic gestures, surprise vacations, elaborate proposals, or diamond anniversary gifts. But marriages rarely fall apart because someone forgot to buy flowers. They falter because of the little things, dismissive tones, forgotten promises, or the inability to carry out simple acts of care. The bathroom test reveals this perfectly. A husband who remembers to replace the empty toilet roll quietly communicates, "I notice your needs." A wife who cleans the mirror without being asked may be saying, "I want our space to feel good for both of us." These are not costly gestures, but their meaning is priceless. Over time, small acts of respect become the real backbone of intimacy. A healthy marriage is not measured in rare fireworks, but in daily maintenance, the invisible labor of noticing, adjusting, and caring. Respect in marriage isn't only about politeness. It's about acknowledging that your partner's comfort and peace matter as much as your own. Nowhere is this clearer than in shared private spaces. When one partner ignores bathroom boundaries, the other often feels invisible. Take, for instance, the partner who never knocks before entering. On the surface, this might seem harmless. It's their house too. But underneath, it can communicate entitlement, the belief that their access outweighs the other's privacy. Over time, this erodes trust. Relationship therapists emphasize that boundaries in intimate spaces reflect emotional respect. When couples honor each other's bathroom rituals, whether it's quiet time during a shower or the simple act of cleaning up after themselves, they reinforce the idea that love is about attentiveness, not intrusion. John Gottman, a leading researcher on marriage stability, describes microbetrayals as tiny, everyday acts that chip away at trust. These are not affairs or major lies, but subtle behaviors that say, "I don't value you as much as I should." Leaving the toilet seat dirty, ignoring a request to clean the sink, rolling eyes when a spouse asks for something small. Each act on its own seems insignificant, but cumulatively, they represent a steady erosion of goodwill. The bathroom, being full of these opportunities, often becomes ground zero for microbetrayals. This explains why so many couples argue about trivial things. It's rarely about the toothpaste tube itself. It's about whether one person feels consistently dismissed. The good news is that the bathroom test can also work in reverse. Small acts of attentiveness can rebuild trust as effectively as neglect can erode it. Imagine a husband who decides to consistently wipe down the sink after shaving, not because he cares about the sink, but because he knows it matters to his wife. Over time, this act becomes a love language. Couples who thrive often develop rituals around these spaces. Some create a shared cleaning schedule, while others invent playful reminders rather than nagging. A wife once shared that she and her husband made a game out of folding towels. The loser of a card game had to do it for the week. What could have been a point of conflict became a source of laughter. The shift happens when couples see the bathroom not as a battlefield, but as an opportunity for microconnections. Each act of care, no matter how small, accumulates into trust. Though this metaphor begins in the bathroom, it extends into every corner of life. If a spouse ignores small requests in one area, chances are the same disregard will show up elsewhere. Forgetting appointments, dismissing opinions, or minimizing emotions. Conversely, partners who are mindful in intimate spaces often show that same mindfulness in larger contexts. A husband who cleans up without being asked might also be the one who remembers his partner's work deadlines. A wife who respects bathroom privacy may also be the one who defends her spouse in public conversations. The bathroom test is therefore not about cleanliness. It is about consistency. It measures whether attentiveness is woven into the daily fabric of the relationship. At first glance, the bathroom test seems absurd. How could something as mundane as a toilet seat or toothpaste cap measure the health of a marriage? Yet, as we peel back the layers, it becomes clear. Love is rarely destroyed by explosions. It dies from neglect, one small dismissal at a time. The bathroom test reveals whether a marriage is made of respect, attention, and care, or whether it is quietly eroding beneath the weight of small betrayals. To fail the test is not to be doomed, but to be warned. Every careless act is an invitation to change course. In the end, the bathroom is not just a room. It is a mirror reflecting the state of love. Pass the test, and you're not just keeping the floor dry or the counters clean. You're keeping your bond alive.